Hey, welcome. Today we're going to investigate this I that seems to be at the center of everything that you do. And I want to really make the distinction between the self versus the character that you made. Because awakening is not something that you have to wait for. It really is something that you can begin now to do an investigation, a discovery, inquiry into all the different reactions, responses, thoughts, feelings, emotions. And the self that you are begins to take the forefront of experience. And that really is what an awakening is. So welcome, I'm Lisanatoli, and I post a new video every Tuesday here on this YouTube channel. I also have quite a lot of really awesome events coming up in September. So I invite you to check out my website. So I'm going to use my hands as a visual. So if you're listening by audio, I'm going to explain what I'm doing in case you don't get over to the video. But I'm going to hold my hands up. So I have two hands up right now, and one represents the true self, and the other represents the character that you made. So when we're born, seemingly when we're born, because you actually were never born and you never die, but that's a whole other video. So I'm going to, when we come into this body experience, I'm going to put the right hand forward. And I'm trying not to screw up my lighting too much while I'm moving my hands. But the self is forefront. The self, which is free and joyful and pure being. It doesn't know it's a boy or a girl yet. It doesn't know its life story. It doesn't know its parents. It doesn't know the location it was born. It's pure presence. So this is the forefront of experience, and the character doesn't exist yet. So my left hand is in the background. It hasn't arrived on the scene yet. And what begins to happen in life is this being, which is just creative and happy and joyful and full of wonder and full of light, begins to learn an experience of lack. So this self that you made, this image, and I'm pushing this left hand forward now, comes into the forefront of experience, and the self goes into the background. So what I mean by this is that you begin to experience hunger and body sensations. You're cold, you're hot, and maybe your needs are not getting taken care of, but you begin as a baby to learn there's ways to get your needs taken care of. You cry, you scream, you kick. So this image starts to kind of be in the forefront of experience. And this character is the thing that's upset, that gets angry, that criticizes, that worries, that plans, that controls. It's the thing you think is you. And the self, the being, is in the background of experience. So what happens in life if you're on a spiritual path is this so-called vacillation, where you have experience of happiness, and the right hand here as representing joy, gratitude, comes in, and usually it's just briefly, and then this self comes in, that the image, the character that you made, and you start worrying, you're upset, you remember a grievance, and this goes to the background. During life, this character suddenly is the thing that's in the forefront all the time. And we don't know it. We just think this is just how I am. This is just how it is. I'm upset. I'm angry. I'm trying my best. and it's a story gets made around it, and the being is right in the background of experience. And then the moments that something will happen and you'll be happy. So then happiness takes the forefront, usually only for a moment, and then it goes into the background again. So when you investigate this I, this character, this image that you made, I'm sick, I'm weak, I'm frail, I can't. This is a character. It's a made up character. It doesn't exist. It's not real. This over here, the being, is what's real. And we ignore it because we're so focused on this character that we made up to be safe in the world, to get our needs taken care of, to control situations. This character we think is I, we think is me. And when you're on a spiritual path, what happens is the two start to get a little closer. And the being, the joy, starts to more and more be in the forefront. And this thing in the background that criticizes, that worries, that's doubting, only shows its face occasionally. So you have this thing where the thing gets reversed. Where before you were only happy sometimes, occasionally, not much, to now you're happy almost all the time, at peace, in wonder, and occasionally now this little thing still comes to the forefront. You criticize, you're complaining, you're angry, you're worrying. But this character, it more and more is in the background of experience. It doesn't stay in the front anymore. It's in the back. So you might suffer for a moment, the way you used to be happy for a moment, but now it's just suffering for a moment. You read the news or something unexpected happens, someone dies, someone gets hurt, something where the suffering will take the forefront, but it quickly recedes to the background now. So this to me is one of the best ways I can explain. And it's like dancing. And we dance, and this thing, this character, it really does disappear more and more because you're not identifying with it anymore. You're not identifying as a sick person, as weak, frail, angry, judgmental. It just is in the background. And this thing up here, the being, that which you are, is now your direct experience. And then we put them together and they actually become one. I and the Father are one. So for a moment, there's this vacillation where it's like happy, sad, love, fear. We're kind of doing this little dance. And then together, they're one. So this character, the image that you made to protect yourself in the world, to be safe, to be loved, to be needed, to be wanted, to be successful, actually merges into the being. It disappears completely. And now my hands are in a prayer pose. Namaste, greetings, blessings. And so this is teachable. This is not something that just happens only to the select few. It is available to everyone. What you are, which has always been in the background of experience, comes to the forefront of experience. And, there's really no need to suffer. There's no need for all the things that have worried you, upset you. That this is something that you can begin to investigate this I, which has been at the center of your experience, and actually see it's a character that you made up. It's entirely unreal. It's not needed. It does not serve you. And you can allow it to recede into the background of experience. So thank you so much for watching. I invite you to check out my website for these upcoming events. Thank you for watching.